top-down versus bottom-up strategic management. When the Industrial Revolution first started to take hold and factories were a place that people went to for work instead of the farm, managers were considered the be-all end-all for decision making, and as were business owners. Employees had zero rights, including no breaks, no lunch, no bathroom time. You didn't call in sick, or someone else would take your place. And that was acceptable back then. Frederick Taylor, one of the originators to the theory of management, was a believer in that top-down management style. He didn't feel, and at that point, rightfully so, that employees had the knowledge necessary to plan for a company vision, that they didn't have the big picture needed to be able to reach strategic goals. It is still the most common management style because, well, two reasons. One, management may not want to take the time to share the company's visions and goals with employees, or employees may not want to take the time to have that entrepreneurial spirit that requires focus on the company's vision and goals. In that top-down format, it emphasizes the power that the manager has or that the owner has, and the well wishes or the desires of the workers really don't come into place. This is what you're told you'll do, and you do it or I'll find someone else who will. Versus bottom up, which is a newer style of management, where lower level employees who are in the trenches and know what's going on are part of that decision-making process. In a true bottom-up focus, those decisions are made at the employee level and they trickle up, and plans are made based on what was provided to the top levels of management. The problem, well, one of the many problems with top-down management is employees get tired of being told what to do, having things done to them instead of with them as far as decision making. It's worth taking time to make sure that employees understand how they fit into the bigger picture for business. With the bottom up, it's exciting to be able to know that as a team member, your input is valued and makes a difference to the corporate viewpoint overall, and that you're helping the business to succeed. When the lower levels of employees go together in their departments and create their to-do lists or their goals, then those papers are gathered and brought up to the next level of management, and they take them and try and make them as concise as possible, pass them up to the next level of management, depending upon how many tiers are involved. And the ultimate goal is to be able to have a concise document by the time it reaches top-level management. And this works great when time isn't limited, and it works well when employees have the skills, knowledge, and desire. Desire is an important one that's needed to make effective decisions. If you have employees who are not motivated for long-term business success and are motivated more because they'll have Friday night off to be able to go out, you're not going to be able to count on them to have that long-term goal orientation. So that can hinder the bottom-up style. The newer format is more of a blended style. Management sets overarching goals based on the business strategy that the management has set for the long term, and then employees at those lower levels set the goals and self-determine what they need in order to be successful, and then those lists are gathered and moved up through the ranks so that the items that they need can be gathered or the suggestions for change can be implemented. The process in strategic planning is that you start with your mission and objectives. So you know what your goals are. Then you look at the environment. You move into your strategy, put your strategy into place, then you evaluate its success. When you're doing the environmental planning, you do a PEST study or STEP study, depending upon how you organize the acronym. So you're looking externally and internally, so a SWOT analysis, of the factors that are affecting the business. Examples of political factors, economic factors, social factors, and technological factors. R&D activity is research and development. And as a business, you want to always be looking to the future. So you're researching what is going on, where those trends are, what can change, and what you can develop. But do remember that you have to have not only strong employees, but effective mid and lower level management for the process to work properly. They have to be able to bring team members at all different levels of the business together and have people develop those lists of items to be examined or analyzed and possibly changed, implemented. And for that to happen, the management has to be respected, it has to be positive, and there has to be a strong level of trust. And when you're setting goals, and I'm in chapter 6 at this point, you're looking at 3 areas of focus. You have financial objectives, societal objectives, and personal objectives. Financial objectives are the most easily measured, and those need to be as accurate as possible. You don't want to set goals that are too high that you don't reach, but you also don't want to set them too low, because if you exceed them by too much, then it shows that you didn't either trust the business to do as well as it could, or that you have poor judgment skills regarding the success of the business. So you want to be as accurate as possible. It's really hard when you're first starting a business, but as time goes on and you have historical data to refer to, you can get more accurate with your numbers. Societal objectives are, well, they're those soft skill connections between the business and the rest of the world. What are you doing as an organization to make the world a better place? This area is difficult to measure, or it can be, but you can set goals. Your goals may include reduce energy usage or increase percentage of donation. Whatever would be most effective for you as an organization, and make sure that it's something that your team has adopted or your company has adopted and stands behind and supports. Personal objectives are another hard to measure area. They get into self-gratification, status, respect, and it really depends on what you personally want to achieve within the organization. So if your desire is for community awareness, maybe you are the face of the company at the Chamber of Commerce meetings. Maybe you volunteer at the college. Depends really on what you want to achieve long term. And well, some people put the personal objective as their tombstone goal. So what do you want people to say about you, and what do you want them to feel about you as a person? What we're going to focus on for this week is something very simple. You'll read chapter 6, but the only portion of it we're going to focus on this week is setting a financial, societal, and personal objective. And each one of these will just be a couple of sentences added into the introduction area of your retail plan. If you have any questions, let me know, and you can look at the sample that I posted to get an idea for what I have in mind. Thank you.